products. Mr. Museveni stressed the need for Africa to make strategic investments in key 4 areas of agriculture, industry, information and communication technology, and services.
That these sectors are not integrated, they are not linked. You find African countries producing cotton, but the cotton is not linked with the industries in that country. The cotton is being exported as raw cotton. And this is where poverty in Africa has been a problem. Why? Cotton has got about 7 or so job levels, and money levels. When you grow cotton in the garden and you harvest it, you create a job for yourself, and when you take it to sell it, you get some money. So the grower of the cotton gets money. When it is taken to a ginnery, it's something they call a ginnery, where the machines, small factories which remove seeds, that cotton fiber has got seeds in it. When you take it to a ginnery, the ginning machines remove the seeds. And that cotton is called lint cotton, where seeds have been removed. So there, you create some jobs in the ginnery. People who are running the ginnery have some jobs. And of course, the ginnery runners also get some money.
The Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Vincent Sempijja, says the Ugandan government is striving to ensure that the export of raw materials is minimized by setting up processing industries.
Let's form a partnership. Let's investigate each other. Let's be transparent among ourselves to know what each one is doing, to criticize and account to ourselves to see whether we are moving on in the right direction.
The Minister for Local Government and Rural Development for Sierra Leone, John Tamba, emphasized the need for African leaders to invest in rural economies as well as infrastructure.
Over 90% of our production comes from small-scale subsistence farmers. For Sierra Leone, as with much of the rest of the continent, future inclusive growth and poverty reduction must be based on the modernization of our agricultural sector.
However, the issue of conflicts was highlighted as one of the major hindrances to Africa's development.
Today, we need to talk about development as a means of preventing conflict. In other words, establishing the nexus between peace and development. And for me, I looked at the Ouagadougou Declaration and Plan of Action as one such instrument.
The collaboration between Africa and China is in line with Sustainable Development Goal number 17, which identifies partnerships as key in achieving sustainable development.
The Speaker of the Ethiopian House of the People's Representative, Honorable Tagese Chafo, has commended Uganda's efforts towards reviving peace in Somalia under the AMISOM mission. He says that Ethiopia and Uganda's continued engagements will not only contribute to strengthening peace and stability, but further promote development in the sectors of energy, tourism and transport. Now, while speaking at the press in Kampala, Tagese believes that consistent regional economic integrations can lay grounds for Africa to solve its own problems.
And I know that the crew members of Ugandan Airlines, they are on training now in Addis Ababa, in our aviation academy. About 26 crew members are on training there in Addis Ababa. So we are cooperating to establish and to transfer the culture and the system to Ugandan Airlines. So that is one of the areas of cooperation between the government of Uganda and the people of our government of Ethiopia. So revenue collection and the widening of the tax base is very important to finance our projects. Then if we finance our projects, if we start financing our projects, we get independent. And we don't depend upon the foreign finances. So the business-to-business relationship is very important. The economic integration is very important. For instance, if the businessmen in Uganda, if they go to Ethiopia and see the opportunities there, if the Ethiopian businessmen, if they come here in Uganda and see the opportunity here, we have a lot of opportunities to work together.
Well, in other news, the chairperson of the NRM Electoral Commission, Dr. Tanga Odoi, is appealing to party members to embrace the ongoing nationwide voters update exercise by the Independent Electoral Commission so that they are not left out of the 2021 general election. Odoi reveals that NRM is looking at mobilizing over 10 million registered voters ahead of the elections. We have a report on this story.
Please go and carry on the message.
Last week, the Electoral Commission embarked on a nationwide voter register update exercise where voters are expected to verify, correct particulars and transfer polling stations. This exercise, which is expected to end on 11th December this year, will be conducted in accordance with Article 6.1, Section 1, Clause E of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as amended and Sections 18 and 19 of the Electoral Commission Act, Cap 140.
Please, Lana, if you got registered in 2017, you have not got your national ID or your NIN number, do not say, now this is not for me.
In line of this, the NRM Electoral Commission chairperson, Dr. Tanga Odoi, is encouraging his party members to grab this opportunity if they are to claim victory in 2021 general elections at all levels.
This is a very important exercise. And NRM people, we want to vote and keep our president in power. We want to keep government of NRM in power. You must pay special attention to this exercise. The exercise may not have an extension. 21st November to 11th December is a long period for all of us to follow up the program of the National Electoral Commission. I therefore want to call upon all NRM followers that this exercise starts from 8 to 6 every day.
Dr. Odoi says his party is targeting over 10 million voters from the 20 million expected to participate in the 2021 general elections.
So if we have a register of say 20 million and we have 12 million and we mobilize 10 million to vote, we shall be home and dry. I want to tease opposition parties. Take us on directly. Take us on using the proper channels. Mobilize your members to go to the register. We also mobilize our members. Mobilize your members to go to make sure the tribunal does not delete them. We also mobilize ours. Let's meet on the D-Day of election. And we shall see how Museveni scores, and you then keep quiet and go home.
Odoi, however, faults a cross-section of opposition members who have decided to divert Ugandans by preaching false gospel against the exercise.
This is not an NRM project. This is National Electoral Commission project. NRM, we are simply urging our followers, fraternity of the party, to be alive to the fact that they must participate. There are those planning chaos in some parts of Uganda. I want to warn you, if you want chaos, the police will handle you.
During this general update exercise, the Electoral Commission will also register eligible Ugandan citizens over 18 years and above who are not yet registered as voters. I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News, Kampala.
In other news, 30 Rwandese, including 2 juveniles, a girl and a boy, have been deported to their respective country after being found guilty of illegal stay in Uganda. The deported Rwandese were rounded from various areas in Chisoro municipality. Samuel Wanje, the Chisoro District State Attorney, told court that the deported Rwandese have been staying in Uganda and operating their businesses illegally, which contradicts the immigration laws of Uganda. Now, some of them defended themselves, saying that they had nowhere to renew their documents since they expired at the time when Rwanda closed her borders with Uganda. Now, over 300 people were arrested from bars, streets and hotels, but after thorough screening, only 39 were found guilty. Those arrested include 3 from Tanzania, 3 from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and 1 from Kenya. We now take a quick break and we shall be back with more lunchtime news. Stay tuned.
Send money from Airtel to Airtel at 60% discounted rates. Yes, you can now send money for as low as 100 shillings and a maximum of 1,000 shillings. And that's not all. You can now withdraw up to 7 million shillings from your nearest Airtel money agent for as low as 12,500 shillings. Remember, depositing money is free, buying airtime through Airtel Money is free, Airtel Money and PIN registration is free. Do not pay any transaction charges directly to the agent, and never share your PIN number with anyone. Enjoy the lowest rates on sending and withdrawing money on Airtel Money today. Airtel Money, simple, instant, secure. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Did you know that 1,000 Ugandans get HIV every week? Did you know that each week 500 people die of AIDS in Uganda? HIV is still with us. In 2017, President Museveni launched the Fast Track initiative to end AIDS in Uganda by 2030. We must stop HIV. The best way for young people to avoid HIV is to abstain from sex.
Why you only had to have sex at 16, at 18, at 20, and then you die, or you start having problems, which you may live with all your life? Why don't you wait, hold on, you study, finish your degree, and then you look for a partner at the right time?
Protect yourself. Abstain from sex until you are ready.
Kickstart your holiday in style and be part of the grand family party organized by your very own Eseza Mutokana, a known children entertainer and mother. It will be fun, it will be exciting, it will be memorable with lots of prizes to be won. It's going to be the best of the children's end of year party on the 1st of December 2019 in the UBC Gardens, hosted by Eseza Mutokana. Lots of entertainment including live performances from Uganda's finest, Fresh Kid, Pastor Wilson Bugembe, Kapiripiti.
Yagoba tegezange naku z'omwezi nga lumu December tugenda beera ku UBC Gardens abato mujje tugalewo omwaka.
Ghetto Kids.
We are the Jupiter's Ghetto Kids.
Yes, on the 1st December tugenda beera ku UBC end of year party.
Yeah.
Let's all be there. You know how we do it.
All the kids come have a good time.
Let's have a good time. You know how we do it.
How we do
Straight up from the.
You know what I'm talking about. You know.
Wembley, Yo-Yo, Uganda's best dance group, gets open at 7 a.m. Entrance 10K only and parents free. Come unwind, eat, dance, sing, enjoy the bouncing castle, motor rides, camel rides, ice cream, quiz, swimming, sack races, tug of war, face painting, nyama choma, and candle floss. This party is organized by UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
This weekend on UBC.
My name is Mkayo Hannington, winner of the NSSF Friends with Benefits Season 2.
Congratulations, Hannington!
I used my winnings to boost my agricultural production and give a chance to the people in my community to work.
So join us this year for the 3rd season of the NSSF Friends with Benefits, as 16 Ugandans share inspirational stories on how they use their NSSF benefits to do life-changing things. So tune in every Sunday with your host, Gaetano, and I, and special new host, Uncle D. It's another incredible display. It's the NSSF Friends with Benefits.
And that's not all. You have the power to vote for your favorite stories to win up to 55 million shillings, just like Huntington. This show is brought to you by
NSSF, a better life.
Welcome back. You're still watching the lunchtime news here on UBC TV. And now in the world of business, The Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Janet Mukwaya, challenges graduates to use their skills that they have acquired to promote our country. The minister was at the Uganda Graduate Volunteer Scheme ceremony at Naguru at the United Nations Development Programme, where they train graduates to compete on the job market. We take a look.
So all you need is consecration.
Uganda Graduate Volunteer Scheme trains graduates and empowers them with skill to work in global organizations. This year, 95 graduates have received their certificates satisfying them to work in various parts of the country and abroad. The Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Janet Mukwaya, handed over certificates to the trainees. The minister challenged them to be responsible.
10% of what you are is your mother's contribution. Because what we are talking about here, these are soft skills: humbleness, humility, patience. This, for those fathers who impart these skills to their children, congratulations.
The United Nations Development Programme representative, LCG Ataful, urged government to eliminate unemployment.
78% are below the ages of 30. That is a big one for us. And there is no way we can achieve development in our Vision 2040 without looking at the issue around unemployment, addressing it, and particularly in the context of the youth.
Deborah Maitamu from World Vision, one of the partners of this program, says the graduates are willing to do tasks assigned to them.
Vision, our experience has been fruitful, with volunteers showing a lot of eagerness to learn. They want to do tasks, they want to take so much, they want to go everywhere. Tell them to go to West Nile, they want to be there. Tell them to go to Karamoja, my village, they want to be there. Tell them to go to Chenjojo, they just want to sit in the car and go. That's what they want. And we are very grateful for that. That is an eagerness to learn.
Abidie Dafen spoke on behalf of graduates.
With this background of working in these organizations, in all these areas, it has equipped us with the skills of how to deal with people from different nationalities, from different ethnic backgrounds, and given the fact there are very many, it has brought very many creative ideas on the table, giving us new insights into how they think, how they shape things from their own perspective. And this has given us a very, very, very productive and creative way of thinking.
Detna Saku and Andrew Sebida, UBC.
East African business and political leaders have converged in Arusha, Tanzania, for the East African Business and Investment Summit. With the meeting coinciding with the East African community's 20 years anniversary, glaring challenges are evident that urgent strategies are required for the region to achieve its intended integration goal. Dennis Igwa with the report.
Inter-regional trade currently stands at 12%. It is dismal and worrying considering the fact that the African continent is making strides towards achieving the continental free trade area. The East African Business and Investment Summit ongoing in Arusha, Tanzania, is laying strategies geared at increasing inter-regional trade to at least 40%.
We want to take politics out of this. We want to have a fair and equitable place for people to do business. We want to make it fair, we want to make it transparent, and take away fear, take away issues that people call political that they never want to talk about, and put them on the table. We have to have hard, frank discussions about what are these challenges. If there are countries that are scared of other countries, let's deal with it. Let's talk about how to make it fair.
According to the Tanzanian Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation Minister, Professor Paramagamba Kabudi, there is need for commitment from partner states and a private sector that is united.
The private sector is selfish. You should say people-centered, and the private. Yes, because you are driving towards the welfare of the East Africans. So as it was in the past, it is also now. Our community must be private sector driven, but a people-centered community. If we lose that focus of people-centered community, this community won't be sustainable.
His sentiments are re-echoed by Chirunda Chivejinja, the third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of East African Affairs.
If we don't have a social content, then we are likely to hit the mistakes which were committed earlier. But now, let's look at each other, let's have problems, and know that integration is not a choice or a race or an event, but a process.
As the EAC public and private sector players meet in Arusha to discuss business and mark 20 years of EAC existence, some glaring challenges are evident. These are some of the sad stories that the East African business community has to endure. Where I'm standing right now is Mama Bella wine stall. She was expecting to have her products here by Monday or Sunday. Unfortunately, her products are yet to arrive.
I'm so shocked that I'm now in an empty store which I've paid for. I'm staying in a very expensive hotel. I'm not among those who are sponsored. When the truck left Uganda, I've been crying to them. Until they intervene, it leaves one border to another. Now since morning it has been at this Tanzanian border. Now you can imagine.
She's coming here to Arusha to show that the integration of this community in East Africa is private sector led. That there are no non-tariff barriers, or that there is work being done to remove those non-tariff barriers. Clearly, as you can see from her empty stall, that work is simply not enough.
The Ugandan entrepreneur is disappointed and pessimistic about the future of the integration.
Who doesn't know better in East Africa to hold a vehicle there? I'm very disappointed. Now I don't need to continue with this summit. Me, I'm just packing my things and going back.
The participants concur that all barriers that impede regional trade should be addressed urgently to achieve the EAC integration agenda. Dennis Igoa for UBC News in Arusha, Tanzania.
Wow, integration still having a few hitches right there. We hope that they get resolved real soon. Well, that is all we have time for now, but please do stay tuned for more news in our subsequent bulletins. That is the lunchtime news for today. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. Have yourself a good afternoon.
Kickstart your holiday in style and be